Welcome to third day. Continuation. Attitude is altitude. Summary and biography of a great and eminent personality, even though disabled. I already told you who is none other than Nick. I request the children, if any important matter depicts on the board, let you write in your notebook. That may be useful to you in the coming days. And when dealing this topic, attitude is altitude, I already told you, Nick Usick, an Australian now who lives in Los Angeles, became an international symbol, even though he faced many adversities. But the boy was unfortunate. In his view, he was not a physically disabled person, but he is a physically challenged man. He gave inspiration to all of us, and millions of fans are there attracted towards Nick Vujicic. He is a great and eminent personality, became a motivational speaker and gave valuable message to the society, especially for the children who are sensitive. And coming to this lesson, I already told you, Nick Vujicic, father was a computer programmer and accountant, and mother a nurse. During her pregnancy, she took every care. As a nurse, she has to see the welfare of the other patients. Simultaneously, she took care of her. But unfortunately, she gave a birth to a torso boy. We don't know, man proposes, but sometimes God disposes. Even his disease could not reach to the medical explanation, a rare occurrence, what medical experts calling as phocomelia. This phocomelia means without having any limbs. Yes, but remember, even though he suffered with phocomelia, he did a great thing, a great job. He could swim, he could surf, he could write and hold the things. So some details won't stop him. Such a great boy is our Nick. And coming to the point of view, Nick Vujicic, when he joined in the school, his classmates started bullying him, means humiliated. I already told you the synonym of bullying is humiliation. He faced many troubles. Despite the troubles, our boy became an international symbol and achieved great things in his life. And when the boy was born, his mother shocked. His father also shocked. And even mother could not touch him until he completed his 3 months. Father got vomiting sensation, ejaculated, vomitings. They could not digest about this rare death. But parents decided and joined him in a regular school, what we call as mainstream school. At first our Nick thought that it was a hard decision taken by parents. But later he understood that his parents had done a great thing and a good thing, and he completed his financial planning and real estate courses that made him to stand on his legs even though he had no legs. That means they made the boy independent. Many times they asked the question, why God has made this cruel trick? They wept, tears rolled down from their eyes. They could not digest it, but simultaneously, side by side, they started making the boy independent. And our boy pulled his life through adversities. What I call as adversities means nothing but challenges in our life. Everyone has to face the adversities. Our life is not a bed of roses. But remember, our life having so many bottlenecks, horns and thorns. You have to cross all these hurdles with great courage. When you have boldness, automatically you develop yourself. And my dear children, why I told you, why I wrote this pull through means, here, this is phrasal verb. From this topic we are going to learn more and more grammar. So in this chapter basically we are going to learn about phrasal verbs and also a little part of clauses. If it is possible, we can discuss these phrases and clauses in the next coming class. So here, how to identify phrasal verb? Having a word and a preposition. Phrasal verb. In the next class, I am going to teach you about these phrases and clauses. And our boy, coming to this topic, our boy, yesterday I told you, he was bullied, but the boy had an electrical wheelchair. For what purpose? Means for mobility, movement. And maybe they are the rich persons. Parents provided carers also to take care of this boy because he had no limbs. How could he move? You keep just like as a rice bag in a moving trolley. Is it possible? It has some support to become motionless. So support, here carers are there. And our boy, when he was 8 years old, he got frustration. He understood the total world is empty. He lost his patience, courage, and decided to end his life. I told you, Nick boosted energy, millions of sensitive persons. But the same person at one time when he was 8 years old, he decided to commit suicide. That's why he reached the kitchen where mother was working something, cooking something, and immediately he told his opinion that he was going to end his life. Why means he got frustration. That's why he told his mommy that he wanted to kill himself. Our boy Nick felt cold and bitter. His life is not sweet. A bitter thing always. He is a dependent boy, not an independent boy. But our boy started hating the God. Hate opposite, love. Antonym. Why means God made him a torso boy. And he was terrified. He thought and thought and thought. He understood who would look after him when his parents passed from this world. In the absence of his parents, who would look after him? That idea came in his mind, and that's why he took a stern decision to commit suicide, even though our Nick was brave. But he continued in this topic. He could brush his teeth along with a wall-mounted brush. It's not India, it's America, sophisticated country, highly developed country. So parents, something provided to make this boy independent. They provided a wall-mounted brush. He can reach the wall-mounted brush spot and could brush his teeth. Maybe to and fro action. And mother also invented some special device to hold the things. You can see in the photograph how Nick wrote something on the board. See, God has given two hands to us. We are unable to write neatly. Our handwriting is not legible. But our Nick started writing this. Hats off to Nick. And for his perseverance, the greatest quality that any human being should have. And he began to say that there was so much that was impossible for him. He began to say. And now our Nick crossed 10 years. 10 years means maybe the standard of 5th or 6th class. During that time, our Nick decided himself to commit suicide, to end his life. Instead of facing all these troubles in the society. And this time, he has not told anything to his mother. But he reached the washroom. There a tub was provided for bathing purpose. And our Nick tried himself to drown in the bathtub to end his life. But his suicidal attempt became futile, means useless, failed. So death won't come towards us. When you have, God has sent you on special purpose to this world. Unless you complete, you won't have death. So, our Nick tried himself, but the attempt failed. He thought like this. He felt there was no purpose when you lack purpose and strength. So, for death also, you should have some strength. When you lack of strength or without purpose, You can't get that death easily. And with the help of his religion, why means our Nick escaped from the death because he trusted the religion very much. Friends and family members, our Nick managed to pull through. I told you, phrasal verb, starting with a verb and a preposition, calling as phrasal verb. Later we will discuss in the next coming classes. He managed to pull through to become an international symbol. Writing the sentences is also important for not only analyzing that one, what is these words and whether it is prepositional phrase or verbal phrase or adverb phrase or noun phrase. Later we will discuss it. But here Nick managed to pull through to become an international symbol. Symbol, a mark of triumph. I already told you, triumph means victory. Opposite, defeat through adversities. And Nick started when he was 13 years old. He read a newspaper article. See here, see the sentence, another grammar point. I will explain you clearly. When I was 13, I read a newspaper article. This sentence told by Nick Vujicic. What is this sentence? What is this grammar? A grammar point is there. So this refers to class. Previously, we tried to learn phrasal verb, and now you are going to know about the class. So what are the clauses and what are the phrases? The next coming class. But here, in brief, should know about this one. When I was 13, I read a newspaper article. So clauses, what is clause? A group of words that makes the sentence meaningful, giving much information. Total information, proper information is nothing but a clause. And basically here, two clauses are there. One is, here, when I was 13, I read a newspaper article. See here, the clause, this part is giving much information. So this part is called main clause or independent clause. Independent clause. Because this sentence is giving full information. And here in this sentence, it is not giving, but this sentence is depending on this clause. So naturally what we call this sentence as dependent clause, or you may call as subordinate clause. Later we will discuss. And coming to the point, say when our Nick was 13 years old, he read a newspaper article about a disabled man. Disabled. Opposite, able. We are able persons. But in the society, you can see many disabled persons who has managed to achieve great things. He read an article about a man, not an ordinary man, but the man was a disabled person. But that disabled person achieved great things in his life and helped others. Our Nick read that newspaper article when he was at the age of 13. And our boy realized after reading this article why God has made us like this. You can see all your 5 fingers also not uniform. When your all 5 fingers are uniform, you can't hold anything, you can't write anything, you can't eat also. So, God might have thought, all this world embedded with dual nature. When peace is there, automatically war must be there. When sky is there, earth must be there. When water is there, fire is also there. So this is called dual nature, sister, brother, mother, father. So all these embedded, provided God. God is not a fool. That's why, but some people may think that one, why God has given such life. Some are millionaires, some are billionaires, some are crorepati's, and some are poor people, some are beggars. So there is a special order constructing this universe. That you should realize. Our Nick realized, oh, why God has made us like this? To help the poor, to help sensitive people, to give hope to the others. Now coming to a hope, opposite despair. Don't say hopeless. Hopeful, hopeless is correct. Here hope, opposite despair. So he thought that God made us to help others, giving a hope. And when the idea struck in his mind, he was so inspirational, and now our Nick decided to use his life. Why? For what purpose? To encourage the people and give them the courage that the article had given to him. A remarkable thing struck in his mind, and so he decided his life to spend for the sake of others only. Very good. And then he began to again think like this, thought like this. He decided to be thankful for what he did have and not get angry about what he didn't. Try to analyze this sentence. A great meaning is there. He decided to be thankful for what I do have, he is saying. So, our Nick conveying thanks to God. Is there any necessity? God gave him a torso, body. But now our Nick tried to thanks God for what I do have, what he had. Our Nick having beautiful eyes, and also even though he had no limbs, God has given a pretty tone. He could mesmerize others with his tone. Such a tone, such eyes, having our Nick. And at the same time, he is conveying that I am not getting angry about what I don't. What he don't have, what he have. I told you, he has beautiful eyes and a pretty tone. And he don't have limbs. So that's why he conveyed his thankfulness to God. He stood before the mirror and looked at himself and said, Nick, you know what the world is right. Rich, poor, dual nature, sister, brother, father, mother, like this, bad, good, sorrows, pleasures, happy, unhappy, all things are embedded. And the world is right. You think about gold. Gold is, if you purchase pure gold, it will break. If you construct only with cement, it won't withstand. It has to mix up. Then only the nature will come. It can withstand. So our world is having full of sorrows and pleasures. But we tried to overcross all these sorrows and tried to reach the happiness in our life. That is our motto. And don't blame ourselves. And now our boy continuing that, oh God, society, they will never take away the beauty of my eyes. Take away. Now another word is coming. Take away. Take what? Phrasal verb. So these limbs, even though if he has, it won't take away the beauty of his pretty eyes. So God has given a beautiful, melodious, pretty voice. And our neck decided, wanted to concentrate on something good that he had. So with the help of his voice, tone and eyes, he decided to help others. So frustration has gone from his mind. And then thought that the challenges, the word challenges means here nothing but adversities only. Previously I told you, adversities is challenges. Challenges are also adversities. Troubles, pains. There is a proverb. There is no gain without pain. So here also challenges. These challenges are there to strengthen, opposite, weaken. To strengthen, to make strong in our lives. And convictions. Convictions means belief, trust. And these challenges are not there to run us over. Remember, another phrasal verb is coming. Run over. Run verb, over preposition, phrasal verb. We will discuss later. So here they are not there to run us over. Watching the troubles, don't commit any suicide or run away from those troubles. You have to face boldly. Then only you can withstand in your life. Here our Nick told the same thing. And that's why during 1990s, exactly 30 years back, maybe now leading a middle-aged life, but 30 years back, he received the greatest award from Australian government, and the award was Young Citizen Award of that year. Why did he receive that award? For his bravery, courage. If we lose one of the leg or one of the arm, we will end our life. If we fail, immediately so many children, according to statistics, thousands of children committing suicide when they are losing their marks. It's not good. You have to focus. You have to bear that one. And you have to struggle hard and reach the goal until success enter in your pocket. That's why our Nick received this great award, Australian Young Citizen Award of the year 1990 for his bravery and perseverance. The most important good quality, perseverance. Many meanings are there. Means here perseverance means an ability to achieve. If you want to achieve a motto, you should have the quality perseverance. And in this chapter also you are going to learn more attributes. Attributes means qualities of a person's, nothing but adjectives. Quality is nothing but adjective. In the dual nature in the world, you can see both positive and negative qualities. After completing this lesson, we are going to learn about the positive qualities of each and every person and about this Nick Vujicic also. And Nick was not only a great boy, courageous boy, he was also a sportive boy. He could cut the jokes. I already told you in the previous class, when his friends humiliated him, what was the awkward thing that was hanging on his left hip? But Nick Vujicic, what did he comment? Hey, I call this is not a foot, but I call this as a chicken drumstick. So funny. Sportive boy. Our Nick Vujicic, again in his second incident, he began to clarify. Once he was driving a car. It's a sophisticated country. You may ask me a question. How could he drive a car? It's America. Parents may be rich. So naturally, they might have purchased a car with the help of a wise, motivated car. Father provided that one. He could come along with his battery car. When he touches the car body, automatically it opens the door. And immediately in the slant place, he could mount onto the car and sit in his seat. When he opens the mouth, automatically the engine starts and the car will run. So nowadays everything is possible. Nothing is impossible in this world. Unfortunately, we are not having such a type of cars. But here, Nick, now driving on this car, he reached a traffic spot, just like as our Leela Mahal center or maybe a Chaurasta. Soon the signal is going to come, and during this moment our Nick Vujicic stopped and waiting for green signal. When he was waiting, at the same time another car came and stood beside his car. And a young and stunning beautiful lady is sitting, and she was also waiting for the signal. Both cars are there, side by side. Suddenly, the beautiful girl raised her head and watched the face of this pretty boy. Who? Nick Vujicic. That's all. She wondered, watching the beautiful eyes and handsome face. God has given handsome face, pretty eyes and a beautiful tone. But God has not given limbs. And when he was waiting, suddenly our Nick Vujicic watched the girl. Perhaps the girl might have seen only his face. She did not know about the body, about the limbs. And Nick wanted to cut a joke, make a joke, wanted to make her funny, to make the incident funny, and soon he turned his chair. Possibility is there. Such a system is provided in that car. When he spinned his chair in 360 degrees angle, now the total body was exposing to others. One could see the total physique of Nick. So naturally, our girl watched the entire body of Nick, and her hair stood. And now she was terrified watching the body. Perhaps she do not know She thought that his body might be full of limbs also. But what happened here? Now, watching this ghost type of body, devil type of body, without having limbs, even though Nick has beautiful eyes and handsome face, soon she sped off. Another phrasal verb is coming. Sped off. Remember, sped off. Ran very quickly. Such incident was a humorous incident, our Nick tried to say. And Nick began to travel the world in 2008. And he went to Hawaii. Where is Hawaii? It is in America, an island, a tourist spot. For a special purpose he reached there. Why means our Nick wanted to meet a surfer whose name is Bethany Hamilton. Bethany Hamilton. A surfer, a lady giving training to young surfers. Our Nick wanted to learn surfing. Surfing means it's not an ordinary sport or game. You have to move along with the help of tides. Sometimes tides may be 30 meters, 20 meters long. Watching the ocean itself, our heart will sink. But here the boy decided to learn surfing through this surfer. When he met surfer, he too wondered. Why means that Bethany Hamilton, also a disabled person. She lost one of her arm in one of her adventurous surfing. A large shark bitten off her arm. Bitten off. Another phrasal verb. Bitten off. So many phrasal verbs coming in this chapter.